Hi everyone, we're back with another episode of Who Said What. I'm Heba.
And I'm Nira.
And today we are going to talk about the order of when you were born. Because we're three sisters and...
So the oldest, middle, and youngest child.
I was going to say that.
I could jump into
to talk about the theory about when you're born and how that shapes your personality and what are the characteristics about each one that are very unique to, the oldest, the middle, the youngest.
Can I say, I want to say it because I did a quick research and it says, okay, so for the oldest, their main characteristics are that they're perfectionists, leaders, and authoritarian. Is that how I said it right? Middle, forgotten, even-tempered, but has trouble fitting in. And the youngest, which would be me, confident and wild, and can never rise above the other siblings. They're risk takers. I go more in details about me because it's me. They tend to be risk takers, entrepreneurs, but not always. Well, technically, I am a risk taker and I am an entrepreneur. So confident, I don't know about that. Risk taker, wild, sometimes.
Is this an episode about you?
Well, why not, Heba? It's about siblings, younger, older. And so wait, what is it? Heba, so you're even-tempered but trouble?
No, I'm just saying, I guess everybody has that. I noticed that I generally can connect more with people that are middle children. Well, no, I don't connect more, but I see what the characteristics are of a middle child. I would say the ones that are more obvious is the oldest child. From what I know is the oldest child is definitely the more bossy one. Because for sure, you're the first one. You're the first child, so you're definitely doted on much more. You're given a lot of attention. The first child is the one who gets probably thousands of pictures, and because everything is the first.
Well, Shireen, actually, I remember
Shireen, our oldest sister.
It used to drive me nuts when people. They're like, "Which one are you?" I'm like, "I'm the youngest." Oh, you must be the spoiled one. I'm like, not at all. I am not spoiled. Never have been. Our older sister is the one that got everything and spoiled. And I remember the pictures of what cracks me up. Shireen, our parents have suitcases filled of pictures of Shireen as a baby.
And photo albums.
So if Shireen has, let's say hypothetically, 5 suitcases, Heba has maybe 2, 3. I have one photo album. One photo album with a couple of pictures of me as a baby, and that's
we didn't know
they got bored. They got on board, and they're like, "We are not taking any more baby pictures. That's it."
We didn't even know she existed until after her teenage years, and she started to cause problems. So, for the attention, probably. So,
no. I think when I was younger, I was just super quiet. Actually, I just was very, 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 very shy. If some of my friends can believe that, I was
very shy.
No, are you kidding?
I still am very shy.
I was always behind you. It's like when my dad shows me videos of us when we were kids. I was such the pathetic younger sister. Heba, of course, loved to shine. She always wanted to be the superstar, and she used to get in front of the camera, in front of the video, and do all of these things, reenact this one movie, Yasmina. Oh wait, is that attention seeker? I think so.
Yeah, I'm an attention seeker, for sure.
What was the other one? Rebel to get attention. That is Heba, full on. But not always. She was a rebel when we were younger. And
I definitely was a very rebellious child when I was in my teens, I guess.
Yeah, in high school. Wow.
I think I was rebelling against Shireen, my oldest sister, not my mother. She was so annoying. She was always bossing me around and telling me what to do and not to do.
She had the typical characteristics of an older sister that used to watch over us when mom was busy.
But it was taken to a new level. She was even more bossy than mom.
She was more bossy than our mother, actually. Our mother is more lenient. And growing up, she was more Shireen was always on edge. But maybe not. I always felt
But I think it's kind of true. I think it is true that definitely the oldest child is the one who gets the most attention, has the highest IQ because of that. Because you're very aware. It's like when you're a first time mom, you're very aware of having this child that you need to kind of nurture. You're trying to do everything right. You're probably exhausted, but you just want to make sure that you cover all areas.
Even labor is more difficult with what. So my mother was in labor with Shireen for a good 24 hours.
Oh, how am I supposed to know?
No, because she always said it. She was 24 hours. It was more 14 hours. And me, 2 hours.
She didn't know she was pregnant. She went to the hospital like,
She
came
went
right
to
out.
labor, went to the hospital, and poof, I was born. It was super fast. She's like, I didn't even feel anything. So yeah, but with Shireen, like, no, mom is like, doesn't remember many things, but she remembers that.
yeah.
That's so that she remembers.
And Shireen definitely has the highest IQ. Apparently,
She does, for sure.
The oldest children are usually more likely to be CEOs of companies. And she is a CEO in her own right. She's a CEO of her own family. She runs that like a tight ship. I'm not joking. She is
Like an army barracks.
Oh, yeah. It's brilliant. She's efficient. She's the way she cooks, the way she
takes care of everything. Like, they have to work. I mean, she's that ultimate mother who is an amazing organizer, amazing cook. She bakes really well as well. I mean, she does everything. She organizes everything for them, actually. So it must be nice, actually, not to have to worry about much. But I mean, her husband works his ass off. And the kids also work their butts off. They're
at school. What do you mean they work their butts off?
But they're extremely good at school. Both of them have very high grades.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, they're.
I hated studying. I was like, Shireen was this nerd and always studying and always
her nose was in the book.
An overachiever. I was like, fuck that shit.
Heba didn't have to work that hard, and she still got really good grades.
But I just didn't want to work that hard. I just felt that there was more to life than being a nerd. Oh, I partied a lot. It was fun. Those were good days.
She Heba
fun days.
Partied a lot. If a lot of things were prohibited from doing, it's because Heba did something stupid.
Yeah, I skipped classes a lot.
Skipped school all the time.
And which they came out with a rule after me.
In CC, her class, she graduated from CC in 94. I graduated in 95. And I remember in 95, beginning of my school year, they implemented a new rule because Heba's class were the most rebellious students.
They skipped so many days.
They skipped, I think Heba
there was a maximum number of days that you could miss.
You couldn't, and my
graduate
was that if you missed more than 26 days, and those included sick days, by the way, you couldn't graduate. So
I credit that to myself. I was that good at skipping classes.
During lunch break and never come back.
I don't know how we did that. I don't even remember.
I don't know how you guys did that.
Anyways,
the shit we got away with when we were younger. Of course, no social media helped a lot. About the intelligence thing, by the way. Okay, I agree. Shireen was she was the most intelligent one out of the three of us. I think we're all very intelligent, but very, very different. Super different kind of intelligence.
Yeah, of course.
But because I got the lowest grades out of the three of us, but I also barely studied. And I still got quite good grades.
Yeah.
Like Shireen and I, we lived when I was in college, we lived together for 1 year, my sophomore year, and never again in college. And I remember she used to always complain. She's like, I don't know how Nira's getting good grades because I had a scholarship. And she's like, I don't know how Nira's getting good grades. She barely studies. So I'm very much that
person. Was she telling that to? Why was she annoyed about that?
She was irritated. She was mom. She's like, Nira's never home to study. She barely studies and she gets good grades. And
Shireen used to always be a snitch. I don't know if that's an older sibling thing, but she used to always tell on us.
Yes, I never used to tell her anything. It would get back to mom in a second. But I remember the thing is one of the things for me is school, I was very much a visual learner and listening. Like if I didn't understand it in the classroom, chances are I wasn't going to understand it no matter how much I studied.
But you were very good because you have very good general knowledge and you remember things. I don't remember anything. Like I read so many books and I literally don't remember them. Like I remember the general gist of it, I don't remember the details. You remember details. I'm very superficial, I think.
No, but it's interesting because we all read a lot of books in our family. And I read a lot of books, and of course, there's no way I'm going to remember every single book in detail. And there are some books that I've forgotten. But if I pick up the book and I look at it, I'll remember the crux, like the general point of the book. The books where I remember the details are the books that have changed me, that I've read more than once. And there's only a couple of books that I've read more than once. Actually, one book. So,
oh, excuse me. Those are birds like nesting in my little shutter box at home
in the room.
And they were. I think they were on our episode with Adi. I could hear it in the background, the little birds chirping because they were here last year. I guess it's mating season now for them because last year we had them and then they disappeared after a couple of months and then they're back now. Anyways, so happy mating for those little birds. Anyways, so
digress, but so I think it was just, but definitely my mom always made me feel bad because when we applied to colleges, and I guess this is one of those things where you're always trying to prove that you're as smart as your older siblings. And
did you think we were smarter?
Mom made me feel bad about it a couple of times. And then there are certain things that, like, because we all went to a French school and we all switched to an American high school. And when it comes to languages, I just full on suck. No, I'm not going to, there you go. I can retreat. I have a ton of general information. Like, I'm one of those people that can spew out. Somebody will say something. I'm like, there's a study that came out and I start saying percentages because I heard it somewhere or I read it somewhere really quickly in passing. But when it comes to languages, I went to a French school from the time I was 3 till I was 13. My accent is fine when I speak French, but I make a ton of mistakes. Arabic, I've lived in this part of the world I'm 46.
And you still sound like Khawagaya.
I still have an accent when I speak Arabic, like an American accent when I speak Arabic. So that is my brain, and I always say my brain was never developed for that thing, for that part. But mom did make me feel bad because I had my GPA, Shreen's GPA was, at the time, in the 90s, was a 4.0. Yours was a 3.7?
No. 3.2?
No. Yours was not 3.2. I remember mine was a 3.2. Yours was a 3.4, 3.5.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Yours was different. And
impressive.
Mine was below 3.4. I'm almost positive. And if it was below, but in college it had to stay above it was a 3.4 and above because I had a scholarship that I would lose if I went down. So yes, mom did make me feel bad because of course both my sisters got accepted to Ivy League schools. I applied to the same school and I got waitlisted, but I was number 1 on the wait list. So my mom I went to a very good university, very good college actually. Regionally it's it was ranked in the top 20s. Their Heba's and Shreen's was ranked across the U.S. in the top 20. So that was the difference. Their school is a private
college.
School. No, it's a private.
Which one? Ours?
Yeah, yours. It was, but there was a liberal arts colleges. It was ranked in the top 25 always. Co-ed. We all went to all women colleges, so co-ed and not co-ed. It was ranked there. Mine was in the Northeast. It was ranked in the Northeast because it was also all women, but like a quarter of the size of their school. So no, mom always was like, if you don't like it, you could always transfer to Smith and I don't know what. And I was just like, I'm not stupid.
So you were lucky. You did your own thing. You were in Boston. You were living it up. You were doing things. Nobody asked what you were doing because you were the quiet one when you left the house. So nobody knew what you were up to, but you were up to no good, girl.
No, in college, no. Okay, wait, time out. In college, I did nothing because, do we have to remind people every time?
That you were fat?
Because I was fat.
But you can do things when you're fat,
No, yeah, but.
You were weren't you smoking up?
No, I never. No, not in college. I was always surrounded by it, but I smoked up for the first time, just to make things clear.
Yes.
2 days before my college graduation, which was, I was 21.
And you had an epiphany then. You saw the light.
And I said, this is the most amazing thing in the world. I don't know why people are not doing it. Versus drinking, it's fantastic. Sorry, she started, okay, so what, you started drinking when you were, I started drinking when I was 20, right? And I was the last one to turn 21 out of all my friends. And I remember I was at the ice cream parlor where I used to work. I was closing up the store. I had the night shift. So me and my friends, we used to do shots of tequila while we were closing the store.
Wow.
We did shots of tequila.
Responsible.
And then, very responsible. And this was 2 days before my 21st birthday. So I was almost legal. I remember Carrie was with me. Carrie and I, we went to this club And the guy looked at my passport and gave me a bracelet. So I was 21 for a couple of hours. And I went in and I bought alcohol. And I got completely wasted. I couldn't see in front of me. And it was one of those moments where you're completely freaked out because at this point, you see people that, like, I used to see people that are drunk and I'm wondering, why are they falling all over themselves? What is wrong with them? Yeah, you stand up straight until I got drunk that night. And you literally can't talk. Like this guy, I remember this guy came up to me and started talking to me. I'm like,
you were slurring?
Forget slurring. In my mind, I'm like, oh my God, he needs to leave me now. I can't even say that. I started freaking out because my friends disappeared. And this guy is like talking to me and I didn't even know how to push him away. So yeah, smoking up is way better. If somebody comes up to me and I'm high and I don't want to talk to them, I'm like, piss off. I'm not in the mood. So, and I walk away.
Or you're like, hey, dude.
Hey, dude, what's up?
What's up?
And it was a summer, of course, it was a whole summer.
So all you did all summer was smoke up then?
And work in the ice cream parlor. It was like scooping
so
ice cream,
you switched tequila. You switched tequila for Jay.
I was never a heavy drinker though. Like drinking was never my thing. In my lifetime, I can remember every time I've been drunk.
Yeah,
and it's less than 10 times. And it's like less than 10 times.
I hate drinking now, but at that time I used to drink a lot. But
I remember there was some rolling around, seeds falling on the floor, rolling around. I'm like, Heba's gone because her favorite drink till now, actually, and I understand it was doing tequila shots. And one time she did so many, she fell and started rolling around. I'm not going to give the full details of that night.
Even TMI. That's TMI. Come on,
I remember. I'm not giving. There are more details about that night that I remember. And
I don't even know which night you're talking about.
You don't?
No.
Oh my God.
Well, I was drunk, so probably I don't remember for that reason.
Ding dong. That's probably why you don't remember. So yeah, it was. There are a couple of nights of Heba like that where she's gone completely, but she's a super fun drunk, like super fun. There are some drunk people that are just like, oh my God, you're sticky, you're invading my space, too close, like they become really close talkers.
But
in your face.
But can I say something? Well, I'll say something very, very honest. The excessive drinking when I was younger was for one main reason, by the way, that nobody really knows. First of all,
do I know this?
I don't know. I mean,
guess I'm going to find out something new about my sister.
The reason why I used to drink was because I was painfully shy. The only way I could communicate or be a little bit sociable with people was if I had drinks. Otherwise, I would be like literally, I would be tongue-tied, so uncomfortable, to the point where uncomfortable, like, I hated myself. I hated crowds. And I have that still till now. I hate crowds. The only way I could cope with being social, because I'm very introverted, the only way I could be sociable was actually to drink to get out of my shell.
Oh my God, maybe if I drank as a fat person, do you think I would have been more sociable?
No, you just wouldn't be a slut.
But a fat social slut.
But so I mean... But I would drink and feel worse the next day, but at least I had a nice time that night. And then I would have to go to therapy. So I think the middle child has to have like a lot of money to invest in therapy, because I think most of my life I've been in therapy. Like I do things I don't really want to do, but I do them to help myself a little bit, or like to numb certain parts that are painful for me. And then I do them, and then they're fun, but at the same time, I don't feel really good about myself, and then so I have to go to therapy, so there's like a vicious cycle. But at the time, therapy wasn't as accessible as it is now.
It wasn't accessible at all at the time.
So,
like now, there's different kinds of therapy.
The only time I started going to therapy when I finally said, like, okay, I'm having a hard time here, was in college, actually. But in college, in the States, it was easier because there was, and first time I was exposed to like somebody who was going to sit with me and listen to me
and not judge. Yeah, I started seeing it because in college, my college as well. I mean, Heba told me that she was seeing a counselor. Yeah, they called it at Smith, because at Simmons it was a counselor as well. And then and usually it's provided free when you go to college. You don't pay for it.
Yeah, you don't pay for it. Anyways, I don't want to talk about that part because that was not like a little bit of a dark time. But I think middle children are more rebellious, because they do have issues. Don't they say that you're kind of caught in the middle? You're caught in the middle. You don't get as much attention as the older child. So you don't get attention, And actually, you get very little attention because they're so exhausted from having to do everything with the first child that you kind of get neglected. And you're kind of trying to find your way, but you don't really find your way.
You know, it's really funny, though, because I'll tell you that you said something actually that resonated for me as a younger sibling, the youngest sibling, is that as the youngest sibling, you also are kind of ignored. But you're okay with it because you're in the corner doing your own thing. You're much more, you're so independent in that. I think that as your sister, what I've noticed is that you are so much more attached and dependent on the family that you need that kind of interaction, that attention. Whereas the youngest, for me,
you don't need it.
I don't feel I need it.
It's true. I think that's what the difference is that me as a middle child, I was very needy and I needed a lot of attention when I was young.
Mom, the silly moment. Mom, like she would stand. My mother used to come back from when we lived in Kuwait. She used to come back from work and take her nap. And then I'm off doing my own thing, swimming in the pool, like minding my own business. Shireen is in her bedroom with the door closed because she's older. She's a broody, older sibling that doesn't want anybody to talk to her because she's above everybody else. And Heba used to stand over my mother's bed while my mother's sleeping. My mother's like
waiting for her to wake up.
I could feel her. I could feel your sister standing over me. Heba's standing over me in the bed, and I was like, "What?" She's like, "Mom, are you awake?" She's like, "Now I am." So she would literally wait and wake Mom up.
So actually, yeah, I used to be very needy, and I think it's maybe it's a middle child syndrome thing, or is it just a personality thing? I don't know. But I remember wanting a lot of attention from her, my father, and being in therapy for many years because I didn't get as much attention as I thought I needed. And until now, I'm attached. I'm definitely attached. I'm more attached to people that I have a close-knit circle of friends and family. And those people I'm very attached to. And I think I'm very, very misunderstood.
Was that extremely Gemini? Is that because you're a Gemini or a middle child?
And I think I'm double fucked. I'm double fucked. I am Gemini and I'm a middle child. So
and get this is the most interesting thing. I don't know enough about Shireen's sign, but I'm a fire sign at the end of the year. I'm a Sagittarius, and yeah, full on independent. You do what you want to do when you want to do it. You don't want people to ask you questions. You're the
independent, the thrill seeker.
Like I will drop and go do something. You were just more.
And funny enough,
more of a homebody.
And funnily enough, Nira's the one who disappears. Like if you call her, her phone is always on silent for some reason. I don't know what the fuck that's all about, but it's always on silent. So you call her, you can barely reach her, and she's always fashionably late for everything. But then for some reason, when she wants something from you, she will call you till your phone blows up.
Really?
Oh my God, yeah. You don't realize that. Oh, you'll call and you'll text and you'll call and you'll text and then...
But how often do I do that?
No, there's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is that it's very weird how I'm the type that I don't call very often. I don't like to impose myself very much on people. And therefore, I don't call people very much. I don't. Yani, you know what I mean? But you have this where you disconnect completely, but then when you want somebody, you'll call them a million times. Like if I need something from you, I will call you once, but if I don't hear from you, I kind of just, I let it go.
I usually call you right back, and I'm not bad like that.
I'm saying, but generally it's funny how you kind of completely go off the radar, and then all of a sudden, when you want to, you're like back on the radar, like blowing up my phone. But I
feel like Heba is, because I'm trying to think, I have another friend of mine that she's part of, there are three. Her younger sister is very much like me, actually. But she's like you, but she's not, actually. But I've noticed there's one thing that you guys have in common is that you feel a need. Like you have to do it, and you don't. But yeah, we have to. You feel a need that you have to always do something for your family.
You know, it's funny that somebody told me,
but you get kind of irritated about it.
Somebody told me something recently that made me like dawned on me. They're like, you always do things that you don't necessarily want to do. And it's true. I always do things that I don't really want to do because I feel like I need to please people and not necessarily, I don't know how to put those boundaries. And it's for some reason I hate, and that's what they say about a middle child syndrome, is you're the peacemaker and diplomat. I don't want to ever upset anybody who's close to me or somebody that I care about. So I actually tiptoe around a lot, or I do things out of my comfort zone and things that I don't necessarily want to do. And then after that, I kind of crack. Yes. Which is never a good thing. And it's like when it's like feels like too much buildup, I'm like, oh fuck.
Heba's throat chakra is always kind of closed.
Yeah, my throat chakra is all blocked.
I'm
blocked.
I have so verbal diarrhea, and she's a complete opposite. Like if somebody tells me something I don't want to do, I'm like, I'm not going to do it. Full on. I don't even like sugarcoat it. I'm just like, it's not happening. I'm not doing it. But yeah, but we get along quite well in that sense. But
I wonder if do you think like maybe an older child should marry the other person they marry should be like a middle child? Like you shouldn't marry the same kind, middle child to middle child. Although both of my husbands have been middle childs, and we both need attention. We're both,
and Shrina's an older child, so is her.
So is her husband.
Me,
but I can't talk. They're a great combo because they're both super intellectual, super smart, and efficient, and they know exactly what they want. Maybe that's the thing about a middle child. You never really know what you want. Or is that me, a Gemini? I don't know.
Well, I think a younger child too doesn't really know what they want most of the time. It's nice to have two older sisters. Like I have to say, like
you learn a lot from stupid shit.
Smooth sailing for me in a lot of sense growing up with two older sisters because Shreen, of course, had the battles about the curfews and stuff like that and going out. And my mom, was a bit stricter. And then when Heba and
I broke all those rules.
She threw all those rules out the window. Let's spend the night at our friend's house and stay out till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And then me, I just kind of tagged along. So I didn't have to worry about anything.
And you always looked like the good one because I was like horrible and rebellious and I always got into trouble. So you, in comparison, you were like the angel.
I was the fat angel, Heba. Let's just...
Doesn't matter. Forget
it. No, I was
if
rebellious.
You would have still been the angel.
No. Actually, I don't think so.
But you would have been wearing a nice, like
I got really rebellious. I got really rebellious in my early 20s.
Yeah, exactly.
And oh my God, things kind of really blew up in my face. Don't you remember? But I was rebellious with it. It was on the right after my car accident. I almost died. So it was rebellious, and I'm gonna live every day like it's my last day. And it big time blew up in my face. Yeah, I made some serious. No, I never call what I've done mistakes, but I did some stuff that really like had some serious ramifications that lasted for years.
Which one? What are you gonna say?
For another time. This is when we can talk about relationships. Remember when I fooled around with the wrong guy?
Oh God, okay. Oh, yeah. That lasted that long? What the hell?
Oh my God, what's his name? Just started calling me recently.
Okay, well. Anyways.
Yeah, like we stopped talking for a good decade.
Okay, so
10 to 15 years.
We can discuss it on another topic. We could talk about.
Yeah, so I've done some pretty stupid shit. But having said that, I don't regret anything that I've done except for maybe a tattoo.
Oh, that's another thing. I was the rebellious.
You see, she was gonna forget about that. She wanted to talk about it.
Yes,
and I reminded you.
So I got my first tattoo when I was 18. This was like literally 98.
I got my first one. I got
mine early on.
I got my first tattoo because I wanted to be just like my sister. I was 98.
You got 98?
I got mine in 90s. It was sophomore year, 95. 96.
Okay, so I got mine probably 2 years before that. And I got mine on my back, I remember. And those were the days when everything was high-waisted, right? So I thought it was my lower back, and it turned out to be smack in the middle of my back. It was ridiculous. Anyways, so I got that tattoo, and I think I was the only person I ever knew in the world that had a tattoo.
By the way, when we got our tattoos, we were in Egypt, including guys. We were there were like 5 or 6 people that had tattoos in
all of Egypt, out of 100 million people.
And I remember most of them. Who they were.
But so I got my first tattoo. I was pretty young, and I think it was before I was 21, obviously. And then after that, I got a second tattoo in 2006, and that was the last one I got. And I removed the tattoo on my back. And Nira since then got like 100 tattoos probably.
No, I have
like what, like 20 tattoos? Like who do you think you are?
Angelina Jolie. That's what she said to me one time. No, I only have 8. Wait, I got my first tattoo when I was
but you know your tattoo. Wait, each tattoo of yours is like, I have my tattoos. The one tattoo I have is a small little one. It's like 3 centimeters. Nira has her tattoos are each like 50 centimeters big.
No, they're not
20 centimeters wide.
No. First of all, my tattoos are all places. You can only see 3. The rest of them, and they're not that many. Wait,
1, 2.
Wait.
3.
1, 2,
4,
3. How about wait?
5. You can see 5 of her tattoos. I don't know what she's talking about.
Can't.
This one under your armpit is visible. The one under your
visible when I'm wearing a bathing suit. Okay, they're only visible when I'm wearing a bathing suit.
Okay, now a fight's gonna break out now.
No,
easy girl.
I have one on my ankle. I have one on my foot. I have one in the back of my neck. So those you can see them pretty much anytime. I have one on my lower back that I decided to frame. So those are 2. So those are 5.
She framed with another tattoo, which was hideous.
I have the one on my side that's 6. The Arabic writing, 8. I'm removing my mom. Okay, they all have something. They all mean something to me. So I got the flower of life, which is the symbol you always see in yoga studios, on my lower back, and somebody kept mentioning that it looks like a stamp. So dumb me decided to frame the stamp
with wings.
So my mom is just like, you had to get a waffle tattoo. You got a waffle tattooed on your back. That's the flower of life.
She's like, which is ugly already.
Ugly. She's like, Kamen, you had to frame the waffle. So the framing of the waffle, the flower of life. It was a very spontaneous decision. I went to this guy who was, I've done all of my tattoos except for one in the States. I did one here, and it's fantastic actually. And he did this tattoo, and he was horrific. He was just a bad tattoo artist. He dug really deep. I was sweating. Where
was this?
In Boston. My tattoo was raised, like you could feel it whenever you touched my skin, and so that's the one I'm getting removed. And let me tell you,
it's been 2 years since you've been trying to.
In June is gonna be 2 years. Let me tell you, if you are not sure about getting a tattoo, and if you're worried about getting a tattoo is gonna hurt, trust me, getting a tattoo removed is like 1,000 times more painful than getting a tattoo. Getting a tattoo is easy. Having a tattoo removed is one of the most. Okay, I haven't had babies, so that's the most painful, and a kidney pain. But having a tattoo removed is by far, feels like I'm being tortured because you're burning your skin, and I can smell my skin burning. It is. I've never.
Did you have numbing? Did you put numbing cream before you?
I put numbing cream, and it still hurts like a fucking bitch.
When I removed mine, I didn't have time to. I didn't put numbing cream, and it was really painful.
It was like we're a family.
A small tattoo. It took me 1 session.
No, and not just that. Her tattoo was small and very light ink.
Faded.
Very light ink. Mine is like a black tattoo. It's like intertwined lines, and it is. So I'm like,
we can dedicate an episode to one of your tattoos.
I could speak. Like my shrink came to one of the things, and she was watching it, and literally she's like, it's bubbling and blistering. Like she's like, it's the ugliest thing she's seen.
Okay.
So it's very painful. So if you're not sure if you want to get a tattoo, be very sure, and trust me, it does not hurt. What hurts.
By the way,
removed.
I don't like the tattoo thing. I think
she doesn't like the tattoo thing.
Too many people are getting too many tattoos. I just find it not very attractive anymore. It's gone too far.
It's gone too far out of David Beckham, the sleeves, and I'm shocked.
And by the way, David Beckham's the only one who can pull it off. But otherwise, nobody else should have
hot.
tattoo.
He's hot. No, there are a few other people that can pull it off.
No.
The Rock pulls it off just fine.
I don't think. Anyways, it's not interesting. I find, and not special anymore when everybody in their mother has a tattoo.
But it was never. I never thought of it as something that was special. It's just a very personal thing that you do for you. That's why I don't think that people need to see my tattoos. It's for me.
Yet we do see.
But the one I'm getting removed, I cannot tell you. It's been 14 years coming, and I'm so happy I'm having it removed.
Okay, well, good for you.
Anyway, we digress.
So,
But that's the tattoo thing is a rebellious part about me, by the way.
Exactly.
It's like I'm
saying.
totally
It's like mine was rebellious, but on a small scale. You went full
on. It's my body, and I'll do whatever I want.
Full rebel.
Full rebel. It's my body. I'll do whatever I want with it, and I don't have to answer to anybody.
It's my party, and I want to
cry if I want to,
and I can cry if I want. Okay, so yeah, I think. Okay, well, I think that was...
I'm sure everybody has their own stories as well. We'd love to hear your stories about if you're a middle child, a younger child like myself. We're so cool, by the way, or an older sibling.
We like to let the younger sibling believe that they're the coolest, but...
Because we are the coolest, because
middle is
easy going.
way
you guys are fucked up, and we choose not to take that route with our parents.
You know that our fucked upness actually kind of like makes it so fucking cool, because there's like an intensity to our rebelliousness. Anyways,
or whatever, mental instability.
Absolutely. Okay, so yes, if you please, we would love to hear your thoughts on that, and if it resonates with you as well, if you feel that kind of, did you relate to it, and which child are you? Firstborn, middle, young, or single child. Anyways, share your thoughts with us on our Instagram account, which is Who Said What Podcast, and don't forget to follow and subscribe to the podcast on all the podcast platforms.
Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed recording it, and we will definitely see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.